What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a Love and Marriage DC Extra, honey. This is about Monique Samuels and Chris Samuels, honey, and how ungrateful Mrs. Monique Samuels is, okay? So anyways, you guys, I want to play some clips from the show that we all have talked about in the comments about how disrespectful Monique was to her husband, how nothing he does is good enough. She's constantly nagging him to be more spiritual, to open up more, but all the while ignoring the fact that this man is a good provider. He cooks, for his children, gives them baths. He said he barely even goes out. He's always at home pretty much with the family. He is a good man, okay? He's not a first floor man like Martell Holt and, some of the other men on Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey. He is nothing like them. And I just feel like if Monique keeps disrespecting her husband, she's going to push him away, and honey, Chris will be replacing her with another woman. Okay, Chris can get another woman and she will appreciate, the man that she has. But I am strongly against trying to nag a man into changing, trying to force him into changing. Spiritual growth is a individual path. Yes, you could be married all day to your partner, but everybody is just not gonna be like you. I myself have realized that in my relationships. I've dated partners that wanted to go to church, and I was done with church, but I didn't judge them for going to church, because that's what they need to do to make them feel closer to God. And who am I to get in the middle of that, right? So I just feel like in love, you should be supportive of your mate. You should be patient with somebody, especially, hell, they paying all the damn bills. Goddamn shit. Okay. I could see if you was up here living a 50-50 lifestyle with the man, that's a little bit different, but he paying all the bills. You are rich because of him. Okay, Monique, you got your ass down to the Potomac and was bragging about your marriage to Giselle, Sharice, Robin, all the girls. You threw your marriage, all up in their faces, and, they ain't been married for as long as I have, and I got a good man. And to me, you guys, it's beginning to look like that was the intention, that she had when she was on Potomac, just to, kind of throw it in all the other women's faces. And now on here, we got all these issues, and no ma'am. Okay, ain't no all of a sudden in 10 years, well, I've been asking for this. That's a lie. That is a lie if I've ever heard one. I've been asking for him to open up for 10 years. No. You wouldn't even still be with him, okay? You stayed with him for a reason, and I believe that money had something to do with it. And I think deep down inside, that Chris is a good dude for the most part. He ain't out here embarrassing you, okay? Y'all know what culture we are in. Y'all know the epidemic that we all suffer from. It's, in a time where these men, they are out here disrespecting their women, cheating, lying, being unfaithful, just being very disrespectful, like kind of treating you like they hate you. We don't never see Chris Samuels engage in any of that behavior. Okay, I'm not at all saying Chris Samuels is perfect, but, we got to give the man credit where credit is due. So anyways, honey, I'm going to play some audio from the show of Monique and Chris, having a disagreement. And then, honey, we will hear from the speaker, Mr. Stefan Speaks, honey, okay? And we will check out what he has to say about, married women or women that are in relationships and, how they should appreciate their man. Okay, so without further ado, honey, let's take a look at, what's been going on, honey, with Chris and Monique.
To go back to Africa. I'm not ready to be back home.
You know what's crazy? Like, I'm enjoying being back in the house, but at the end of the day, a part of me is still there. Like, if I could have spent another...
Why did you steal my line? I've been saying that.
I ain't stealing line, I'm just telling how I feel.
I've been saying
No,
that.
my ears was turned off when you said it.
Oh, whatever.
No, for real, my ears was turned off.
I literally even posted on Instagram the other day. I said, a part of me is still in Africa. And here you go, waiting. What? Guess what?
What?
So I'm over here checking my email.
Uh-huh.
They sent me the contract for WPGC.
Okay, great.
While we were flying.
Okay.
As you know, we're looking for a co-host for the morning show. And we were kind of looking for like a mom, you fit that.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you.
It don't even feel real yet. Like,
Right.
yeah, like.
No, because all that hard work and handling your business is finally paying off.
Yes. There has been a career opportunity that has been presented to me to be the co-host of a new morning show for WPGC. If you live in DC, you listen to 95.5. And if you don't, you better now. Look at a little mess. This one you picked up?
Yeah. Well, actually, it was Chase wanted it. I picked it. He wanted it.
That's good. Most of the souvenirs we got to get shipped. The trip was just so jam-packed.
Mm-hmm.
Non-stop. I feel like we really didn't get to feel what we felt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the moments. In my head, I thought we were gonna have some major aha moments, just individually, but also marriage-wise. Did anything go off in your mind? You know what? Maybe this is a lesson God's trying to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Of course.
No.
We've been talking about this whole spiritual journey and stuff like that. So that's what I'm asking. You're not being in tune at all. You're just living life.
No, it's not that.
Trying to get depth out of you is like a tug of war. It's like I'll ask you a question and you give me these surface answers. And it's like, hello, I'm your wife. We've been married 10 years. If you can be vulnerable with anybody, you can be vulnerable with me.
I feel like I am vulnerable with you. And I mean, it's probably not what you expected.
No, you're not. If it's not what I'm expecting, then your intentions mean nothing.
Monique asked me, did I have an aha moment? And right when she asked me, I really hadn't thought about it much. I kind of just no, I didn't. And I think it frustrated her a little bit because we're both on a spiritual journey. And in her mind, I think she thinks that I need to, be up to her speed. She wants me to kind of get to where she is. But everybody's journey is different. I'm trying to home in exactly what it is. I feel like I'm being open and being honest with you about certain things or whatever. I guess I'm just missing the mark and I'm trying to home in on it.
Well, I feel like you play it safe. You expect for my doors to be wide open all the time to you. But when it comes to you, you're giving me little pieces of you. You'll put a wall up, and then you'll just kind of crack the door open. You'll give me a little bit and close the door back. And that's
well,
why
you've been having a wall up lately, too.
Yeah, lately.
Your wall's up. So you missing me when I'm trying to meet you on what you
Right,
do.
but how long have we been doing this? It's
All
not like it just started. It took a long time for these
I
girls to
totally
get
get it, but if we're going to move past it, you got to tear down your wall as well.
No, you got to tear down my wall. My wall is up because of you.
I'm trying to kick the wall over.
Don't try, just do it.
Okay.
You do talk a good game. You'll talk about what you need to work on, but then the action is very slow to follow. And it's sometimes there might be things that you do that I don't even say anything anymore. It's just what's the point?
There's stuff that you do that I don't say nothing. I'm like,
right, and that's why we so service.
All right, that's fine. That's your opinion on it.
Alrighty. We'll continue to see what life has to offer, I guess.
All right. So what's the situation with your mom? When's she making a move? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, I don't.
I guess we threw it to scene, guys.
That's fine.
Wrap up everything. I mean, we in there talking and because I don't agree with her and don't see her side. Now she just shut down, don't even want to talk no more. That's crazy.
It's what's the point?
If she don't want to talk no more, I mean, I'm going downstairs.
That's fine. There's more to it.
No, it's other stuff bothering her, obviously.
What's going through your head right now? I'm just tired of having the same conversations and it's not sinking through. So it's like, what's the point?
She wants more of the connection, more of the romance, stuff like that, which I'm trying to work on, you know, and get things fired, you know.
I'm trying to understand him better. Like, maybe he just don't understand himself.
You got a camera on him, I see. Oh,
I don't want to talk about a bunch of surface stuff. Oh, where'd you move from the town? Oh, yeah, the trip was great. Oh, like, I'm like, spiritually, did it do anything for you?
She don't want to talk. But she just said she wants to have a deep, in-depth conversation. Now you don't want to talk. Say that. Because that helps tell the story from your lens. So it's not just her lens. Gotta have that balance.
I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, and I don't want him to feel like I'm trying to put him down.
You finish it, or should I stay at?
You can go back.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, when I'm having these conversations with you, I'm not like trying to come at you like I'm just trying to put you down. You know what I'm saying? Or try to like belittle you or take away from what you do bring.
Listen to me, because this is what your family does. Y'all have issue, y'all sweep it under the rug, and it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, let's not deal with that.
What more can I do? You want me to backflip? We're coming up on 10 years in our marriage, and we have our ups and our downs.
I'm not buying it. Because I feel like,
don't buy it.
Don't say, all right,
Don't buy it then.
if that were
Don't
the
buy it
case,
then.
oh my God.
Like 5 or 6 Advil just to get through the night. You had it before? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. The first time was worse than the second for me. The second time it was the fatigue because it just like drained all the sodium from my body, and they wasn't feeding me. I was upstairs left by myself, and they weren't even checking on me.
She wanted to sleep, so I didn't want to bother her.
No.
They didn't even bring no water upstairs.
I've been quiet for a minute over here. I'm starting to get angry. I'm about to wreck this party.
Let my man Chris talk, y'all. Let my man talk.
Monique always complains about she doesn't get enough rest because she's so busy. So, a couple of times I will come in there and ask her something and wake her up out of her sleep. And get yelled at because I woke her up.
This was
pre-COVID. Monique, my turn.
That's fine, but you're not going to confuse it. You're not going to confuse it too.
Let me tie this up. Now,
While I was sick,
I'm starting to get angry for real now because this is the second time she's telling the story. And
that's fine, but you're not going to tell it in a way that's
my turn to
deceiving.
talk.
Go ahead.
All right, well, hush.
Don't do all of that.
No, you don't let me talk.
You're literally about to ruin this dinner.
So in my mind, listen, I'm going to let her sleep. That's been the routine. Once she came to me and said, no, I need you to check on me, this and that. I said, well, cool. So from then on out, you need anything, text me. I'm bringing it up. So we're not going to pretend that I'm not attending to you in that situation.
I didn't say you weren't attending to me. I said that y'all
roll
left
the
me up
footage
there.
back.
And they wasn't feeding me. I was upstairs left by myself.
Oh,
and they weren't even checking on me. At the end of the day, I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus. I was just basically saying that those first few days actually happened. I did have to, like, basically say, like, hey, check on me. And when I did, you checked on me. And you made sure I was good after that.
Okay, guys, let's get into what some people in the comments have to say about Monique and Chris while they have been on this show with the arguing and Monique nagging. I noticed her own fans have kind of turned against her. She was originally the reason why a lot of people was tuning into the show, right? But I noticed a lot of people are gravitating more towards Ashley and Quick and Irena and Jamie. So I'm going to read some of those comments, honey, and then we will get into what Stefan Speaks has to say about this type of situation, honey. So one person says, Monique has a great husband. You could see that he really wanted to speak from the crack in his voice when he said, let me talk. I hope they get it together because overall, they've got a great thing going, at least from the outside looking in. Yep. Another person says it's clear that Monique has zero patience for Chris now that she has everything she wants. Oh my God, that is such a good point. It's cringy how snippy, passive-aggressive, and just plain rude she is for no reason. Monique is not attracted to that man and feels like she is the prize, or she has somehow lowered her standards to be with him. I agree with that. I heard a review where the woman was saying, no, she loves her husband. Why would she marry him? He wasn't as big as, he is when they got married. He was a football player. So y'all know, a lot of football players, they have weight on them. But, the story with Gigi, you guys, I've kind of always believed that, I don't think she, cheated on Chris or had sex, but I do believe maybe it was a thought. I do believe she was possibly flirting with that trainer. I just do, especially now, I'm looking at this damn show. Now, they could kiss and make up all they want to, but honey, Miss Robinson know what she saw with her own two eyes, honey, okay? Okay, so the person goes on to say, which is funny, seeing that it is his money that establishes her as the woman she is so proud of. I told y'all. He's the one that was, he's the rich one. I don't know if I can sit and watch this girl tear down the gentle giant. Yes, she needed to hush. Yes, she wasn't even letting him speak at the table. And she wanted to control that narrative. She wanted to get some sympathy from the people at the table, because y'all heard Irena say, oh dang, Chris, you didn't even check up on her. And Chris was like, no, and it just sounds like Chris is damned if he do, he's damned if he don't, because I do believe she told him don't wake her up out of her sleep. I've seen people do that, and then they get mad and they'll be like, well, you didn't do this. That's somebody that just flat the hell out don't want to be happy. I done been with one of those types. Nothing you do is good enough, because that person is just unhappy. So guys, y'all watch out for that. Watch out for people that complain all the time. They're never satisfied with nothing. That is their problem. It's not the mate's problem. Okay, so let's see what some more people were saying, honey. Okay, so another person caught something that Monique said. Chris, we are about to go to the motherland. Monique, who planned that? Chris, you did. Really, Monique, you want credit for everything so that you can feel good about yourself. Yeah, she does, honey. She want to feel good. So another person says Monique is so aggressive to her husband, he definitely will cheat with someone more feminine that validates him better as a man, or asks for a divorce soon. Since you have a whole protector and provider as a husband, tap into your feminine energy ASAP. That's interesting. I don't feel like Monique is not being feminine. That's, to me, is not the problem. She's just nagging too much, and she's very controlling. I told you all this on Potomac, but some of you all didn't want to listen because you were, you didn't like Candace. I get it. You like Monique, but this girl has always been controlling. She tried to control Candace before she fought her. Okay? Candace wasn't behaving in the way that she wanted her to, and that's why she tried, to bully her. Well, she didn't try, she did. And that's why she fought her in the way in which she did. Okay? Because she has problems. It's funny, she keeps trying to make it like Chris need to be on this damn spiritual journey. I'm like, you need to be on the damn journey, because you're the one with the problem. Another person says the way Monique speaks to her husband in front of the children is horrible, especially the boys. She's going to be very upset if her son brings home one of her in the future. Possibly Monique is more like Chris's mother, which is why he tolerates the berating. Oh, that's an interesting point. The rest of the ladies, I just don't know. Oh, I guess she was talking about the rest of the women on the show. Another person says, why is Monique so stank to her husband? There's some resentment under the surface. Yeah, there's some resentment. Another person says, Monique seems so disinterested in letting Chris express himself. Seems like Candace and Monique are just alike. Ciao, bye. No, they are not. And I actually like Candace and Chris's marriage. You know, even though they can go hard, you know, you see the love there. So another person says Chris needs to put his foot down and give Monique that same energy. I bet she'll shut up then, LOL. Another person says Monique's tone with Chris has gotten worse year after year, or rather reality show after reality show. She seems annoyed with everything that he does. Yeah, that when you are sick of a man, ladies, every damn thing. He could turn his head to the right. You'd be like, ugh, I can't stand that mug. Oh, I just can't wait to get rid of him, honey. And why are you telling your dysfunctionally married friend about the details of your somewhat functional marriage? Ooh, the shade, honey. Girl, time for you to come clean. Are you still in love with Chris or are you in like? Because it seems like you have checked all the way out. What I think it is, you guys, and one of the people on here mentioned it and said it ever so eloquently, honey. Monique has, you know, gotten used to Chris's money. She didn't have all these expectations when she was new to, you know, this new lifestyle. I'm pretty sure she wasn't giving a damn about no spiritual journey. This is somebody that's used to the money, used to the vacations, you know, used to being out in public, okay, having a public persona. She is, you know, just used to the lifestyle he has given her. And once people get used to you, it's kind of like a narcissist. I'm not calling her one because I don't know her like that. But it's kind of like I done got what I want and now next. You know, it kind of looks like that. You know, she trying to say, oh, he's not enough on a spiritual journey. But girl, that is very individual. You know, like you can't force him to be the way you want him to be. He has to get there in his own time. And you really want him to be the author of that journey. You know, that way he sticks with it. Because if he does everything for you, do you see what I'm saying? He's not really going to stick with it because it's not really going to be authentically coming from him, right? Another person brought up a wonderful point. If you want to feel that connection with your husband, you don't bring the kids. Make a trip with just you and your significant other to spend good quality time with one another. I agree. Maybe they could have took the kids, you know, on the next trip to Africa, but she really should have set aside that time for her and Chris. And I'm confused as to why didn't they film them there? Like, I would have loved to see some interaction with them being in Africa alone together, you know, having a conversation, but they didn't do that. Child, let's check out what this next person has to say. This is interesting. This person says, I'm so glad I watched this show. I can see some of myself in Monique's behavior. Truth is, I am not in love with my husband, and he is not a bad husband and is a great provider and father. However, I can find fault in anything he does because I am just over him. What did I just tell you guys? Okay, I done been there. The same can be said for Monique. I wish this was just for TV. However, I can tell it is not. There is no true, deep emotional connection, and she has never been emotionally fulfilled within her relationship. Although he is the breadwinner, she is confident enough in her financial situation to feel like she can maintain a nice lifestyle without being married to him. What did I tell you all? See, she had a different mind state when she came in. And that's not so much of Monique being a devious person. A lot of people, they are more humble, when they get with someone that is rich. They don't have all these expectations at first. It's after they get everything they want over the years. It's just like, okay, now where else is this going? And what else can we do? And, I don't wish divorce on the Samuels. I think they have a very beautiful family, but I feel like Monique needs to appreciate her husband because he can be first floor, honey, if he want to be. Trust me. He got the money. He got the opportunities. Whatever Monique won't put up with, some other lady will. Trust me. Okay? They will appreciate him coming home and spending time with the kids. And I've heard other reviews where, well, that's not enough. Those are your basics that you want with a man, ladies. Somebody that knows how to come home from work. Somebody that spends time with you and the children, taking you out on vacations, letting you shop till you drop. Chris, he looked like he could throw down in the kitchen. Hell, he has chefs at the house. He's a provider. In my opinion, it don't get much better than that. So I don't know, you guys. She seems over him. So let's get into what Stefan Speaks has to say about women like Monique Samuels, honey.
If you worry about your cooking, ask your husband for his honest feedback. When he gives it to you, whatever you do, don't internalize it. Don't take his feedback negatively. Don't lash out at him or catch an attitude and be mad at him about his input. If you're going to say to him, why didn't you tell me this earlier? Why didn't you tell me you really didn't care for my cooking? He's going to say, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. He also didn't want you to overreact and get bent out of shape about it. Be open to what he says and make the necessary improvements. Once you get his feedback and adjust accordingly, talk to him on a regular basis going forward. Feeding his heart. Nurturing him is not just about what you're feeding his body. It's also about what you're feeding his heart. Are you pouring clarity into your husband? Are you honestly clear with your husband about your needs? Are you transparent with him? One of the biggest complaints I hear husbands make is, I don't know what the hell she wants. She expects me to just know. I don't understand this woman. They're confused. You might be thinking, well, he should know better. We've been together for X amount of years. How has he not figured this out yet? How has he not picked up on this? I've dropped hints. I've made comments. Guess what? He still doesn't get it. Most men, your husband included, aren't as intuitive as women are. They aren't as detail-oriented and they aren't as observant. Nor do they pick up on the things that you think should be obvious clues to how you're feeling. He wants your words. He wants direct communication as to what the problem is, what you need, and what you're looking for from him. Have you ever gone to your husband and started venting? During your venting session, has he ever attempted to give you solutions and you've gotten frustrated? Your frustration comes from the fact that you didn't go to him for any solutions. All you wanted to do was vent. Now you're upset with him and he doesn't know why. He feels like, listen, if you come to me with a problem, I'm going to offer solutions. If you don't want solutions, simply say, hey baby, I just need to vent right now. Now he knows, okay, you're just venting. He can remove the problem-solving hat from his head and just open his ears and be comforting and loving. Be honest and straightforward. Don't set yourself up for failure and don't set him up for frustration. Being transparent about your needs in the moment will get you what you want. However, if you're not telling him why you're upset, he won't get it, and he won't know how to help you in that moment. Tell him what you need and what you're looking for in that specific situation. Don't let it linger. Learn to be transparent, because the less transparent you are, the more confusion you create in your relationship. Where there's confusion, there's chaos. Plain and simple. There is no way around that. When you're clear, when you're concise, when you're transparent, you create peace in the household. A man loves it when he doesn't have to figure things out with you and when he doesn't have to overanalyze everything. If he's a man who works hard to take care of things financially, if he makes sure the bills are paid and tries to meet your needs relationally, the last thing he wants to have to deal with is trying to solve the mystical puzzle of you. He doesn't want that. He wants you to make it easy for him by telling him what you want and what you need. He needs to know you're good so you can all move forward. That's it. You may feel like it's not as fun if you have to give him the blueprint and tell him everything he needs to know. You may wonder, why can't he figure it out on his own? You may feel more loved and more valued when he puts in the effort to try to understand and analyze things. I understand and I get it. But this is not going to work in your favor in most cases. That's the bottom line. That's the reality of it. Some things he may figure out. Some things he may take the time to really understand and dissect. However, for the most part, he won't. When your husband is confused and doesn't understand you, it creates insecurities within the relationship. Other issues will begin to stem from these insecurities. He won't know how to handle them. If he doesn't know what's going on or how to handle it, he is now unsure of what's going to happen next. Now fear is present. Now he doesn't know how he can solve it and get things back on track. He can't solve the problem if he isn't clear about what the problem is. The problem now grows into other problems, and as a result, things just tend to stay broken. Please note that he wants to solve the problem. He doesn't want things to stay broken. He just needs to know what he has to do. Period. That's all he's looking for. Make it easier for him. The hardest part, which is his part, is actually putting things into play and moving forward with the information you give him to work to make things better. So, don't withhold information from him and make the process more difficult. It's easier for the both of you if you just give him the clarity he needs from the beginning. Being honest with him and straightforward makes everything easier. So, from now on, I want you to begin pouring transparency and clarity into your husband and into your marriage. Nurturing the relationship in this way creates the peace and comfort a man needs. Not just for your husband, but for both of you as a couple. Ultimately, confusion and chaos will damage your marriage and have a lasting negative impact. Now, if you give him all the answers and he still doesn't act on it, you've got a different issue. But at least try to give him the information he needs to make the necessary corrections and let him take it from there. Present. So far, I've talked about nurturing him by feeding his natural appetite and giving him good meals. I've talked about feeding his heart by giving him the clarity he needs so that he knows how to give you what you need in return. In addition to these two things, there is something else that falls under nurturing that I've already touched on briefly earlier in the book. It's something that I think gets overlooked a lot by women. It is his need for you to listen to him. Being present ties into listening, but I want you to understand the difference between listening and actually being present. Being present is more about being aware of him, valuing his presence, and paying attention to him. On the other hand, listening deals more with taking the time to process his words when he's speaking to you. Listening is not hearing what you want to hear, but hearing what he's saying to you. If he says, "Baby, all I want for Christmas is a good meal, some liquor, and you in the bedroom," don't interpret that to mean, "Oh, he must really be saying that he wants me to take him out to a special place, somewhere he's never been before. I could do a whole bunch of extra stuff and he would be happy." No, you're not listening. He just told you exactly what he wanted. He was very specific. Men are usually very clear about what they want. Men, for the most part, don't speak in code. They don't speak around things. They're going to say exactly what they want and get to the point quickly. It's up to you to decide to listen and do what he asks, or go completely left and come up with your own ideas. What happens when you go left and divert from what he says? He usually doesn't like it. And then you're mad at him. The funny part is, he's thinking, "I never said I wanted this. I told you exactly what I wanted. You did the opposite, and now you're mad at me for something that you chose to do." That's not fair to him. Be reasonable here. Listen to your husband when he's talking to you and being very specific about what he wants and needs. Take him at his word. Now, granted, his words and actions should connect. They should go hand in hand. So, if he's saying one thing and he's doing something different, or he's doing one thing and saying something different, okay, that is a problem. Now, he's being the creator of the confusion. In this case, you should ask him to pour clarity into you and be willing to listen to what he has to say and really process things before acting. Ask questions so you can gain a better understanding. He will give it to you if you're going to be open to receiving it. Communication starts with listening. Heed my warning here. When a man feels like he's not being heard and that you're not listening to him, he's going to feel dismissed and devalued. He's going to get frustrated by this. Listening to him is a part of nurturing him. You want to be heard, and so does your man. You don't want him twisting your words. You don't want him doing the opposite of what you told him to do. You want him to respect you enough to listen to what you're saying, especially when you know you're being clear and honest about what you want, what you need, and what's going on in your life at that time. He wants the same from you. Listening, pouring love into him, feeding his heart, his spirit, and body properly creates a loving and more peaceful marriage. Doing these things consistently will help your husband feel more connected to you. This strengthened connection is going to create better interaction between the two of you. You both will benefit from it because your bond will be healthier and you both will be happier within your relationship.
All right, you guys, that is pretty much, honey, all Miss Robinson got to say about this. Shout out to Mr. Stefan Speaks. That all that he said, you guys, that came from his book, How to Get a Man to Cherish You. Okay? And it's for, wives or, brides to be, honey. So I just thought that was a little something that Mrs. Monique Samuels, that's something, honey, a little bit of advice, for her to tap into if she wants to, honey. But anyways, that's all I got to say about that. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.